Do you feel like you're getting weaker? I used to think it was just a part of getting older. My legs suddenly felt weaker, and my grip wasn't as strong as before. And then I started to wonder, what's really causing this? In today's video, I want to share with you a hidden food that may be linked to muscle loss in older adults. But that's not all. I'll also share some smart nutrition choices that can help protect your balance, maintain strength, and support your independence every day. Let's uncover the truth behind muscle wasting and begin the journey of taking care of ourselves, starting today. Today, I want to share something with you. Something I used to feel a little hesitant to even think about. You may have never tried it before. But honestly, this might be the single most important step you can add to your daily routine to fight muscle loss after 60. It's not a pill. It's not a supplement. It's strength training. Now, when we hear strength training, many of us, myself included, immediately picture gyms, heavy weights, and young athletes flexing in front of mirrors. For many older adults, that image feels distant, maybe overwhelming, painful, or simply not worth the effort. But here's the important truth I came to realize. The older we get, the more essential strength training becomes. Not less, more. After age 30, the average person loses 3–5% of muscle mass every decade. By age 60, that rate can double if we don't actively work to stop it. As muscle fades, so do strength, balance, and even confidence. You may not notice it at first. I found myself avoiding stairs, struggling to lift heavy things, or needing both hands just to stand up from a chair. Simple tasks like getting dressed, reaching for something, or rising from a low seat started to feel like real challenges. That's sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, quietly taking place inside me, and possibly inside you. And while it progresses slowly, it can accelerate quickly if left unchecked. The good news? You can prevent it or even reverse it. You don't need to spend hours at the gym or lift heavy weights. One study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that just 2 sessions of strength training per week, around 30 minutes each, can significantly improve muscle mass, balance, and walking speed in older adults. So, what does real-life strength training look like? For me, it's much simpler than I once imagined. Standing up and sitting down from a chair without using my hands, balancing on one foot for 10 seconds, wall push, ups, using water bottles as light weights, resistance bands while sitting on the sofa. You don't need to go heavy or complex, just stay consistent. My goal isn't to become a bodybuilder. It's to remind my muscles they're still needed. And when you challenge them, even gently, they respond by becoming stronger, better coordinated, and more flexible. I now see strength training as a way of communicating with my muscles, like telling my body, stay active, stay alert, I still need you. That message spreads. It improves posture, reduces the risk of falls, helps prevent injuries, supports joints and bones, and most importantly, helps me feel more in control of my own body. You don't have to spend hours each day. Even 10 minutes can make a lasting difference. Start slowly. Focus on proper form over speed. Breathe deeply and move with stability. Over time, your muscles will remember their strength, and so will you. Now, you might already be doing a lot of things right. Walking regularly, drinking water, stretching often, maybe even trying some light strength training. But if your daily meals are packed with the wrong kinds of foods, the ones that seem harmless but quietly trigger inflammation, your muscles may still be under attack. Muscle health doesn't depend on exercise alone. It also depends on what you feed your body. Every meal is a choice. Either you're fueling recovery and growth, or unknowingly slowing it down. I've come to realize that caring for your body from the inside out, with both consistent movement and smart nutrition, is the key to staying strong, healthy, and confident as we grow older. You can do it too, starting today. Next is something that I didn't realize before but has a huge impact on our muscle health. The use of painkillers combined with muscle inhibition creates a perfect storm of inflammation that we rarely realize. What worries me the most is that many of us don't realize that the everyday foods we eat could be harmful. These foods are convenient, familiar, and often even advertised as healthy. As a result, their harmful effects quietly accumulate in our bodies over time, day after day. without any obvious warning signs. So, what can I do to change that? I don't think you need to give up everything. Just make slightly smarter choices. Choose fresh foods over processed ones. Prioritize whole grains instead of white flour. Opt for lean meats, fish, or legumes instead of deli meats. Use olive oil instead of deep frying. Add more vegetables, berries, turmeric, or nuts, foods known for their natural anti-inflammatory properties. And don't forget to focus on color and freshness. Real food doesn't come in packages, it comes from nature. One thing I really want to emphasize, something many people forget, is that our muscles are trying to repair themselves every single day. But without the right fuel, they can't do that job well. Even the best workouts can't make up for a poor inflammation-inducing diet. I always remind myself, you don't have to be perfect, just intentional. A few better choices today can make your muscles stronger tomorrow. Speaking of pain relief, there's a very common habit I want to talk about because I used to do it too. Reaching for painkillers at the slightest discomfort. You wake up feeling stiff, maybe your knees or lower back ache, and what I used to do was pop an ibuprofen or acetaminophen. It eased the pain, so the next day I'd take another, and then another. But here's what most people don't tell you. This small habit, although it seems helpful, could actually be silently undermining your muscles' ability to recover. Let me explain more clearly. Even light physical activity causes micro tears in your muscles. That's completely normal. Your body detects this damage and sends a natural wave of inflammation to repair it. This inflammatory response isn't bad. It's your body's way of saying, fix this area and make it stronger. But painkillers, especially NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, block that signal. They reduce inflammation quickly, but in doing so, they may also shut down the recovery and growth process of your muscles. I read a study in the Journal of Applied Physiology showing that long-term use of NSAIDs can suppress muscle protein synthesis. That's the process your body uses to turn amino acids into stronger muscle fibers. If this happens regularly, your muscles might stop responding properly to exercise. You'll work out but not get stronger. You'll recover more slowly. Over time, your muscles may even begin to atrophy. In addition, overusing painkillers can put extra stress on your liver and kidneys, key organs in processing nutrients and detoxification. It can also irritate your stomach lining, affecting digestion and making it harder for your body to absorb vitamins, minerals, and protein, all crucial for muscle maintenance and growth. Put simply, the pill you take for pain relief may be quietly weakening your muscles day by day, without you even knowing it. I'm not saying you should avoid painkillers entirely. They're absolutely necessary in some cases, after surgery, while healing from injury, or in chronic illnesses with severe inflammation. But if you're using them as part of your daily routine, maybe it's time to stop and ask yourself, is this truly helping me? Or is it just masking a deeper issue? The good news is, there are gentler, safer options you can try right away. Apply heat or soak in Epsom salt to relieve joint stiffness. Gentle stretching or walking can help loosen up the joints. Eat anti-inflammatory foods like ginger, turmeric, or fatty fish to soothe pain naturally. Stay hydrated. Practice deep breathing or meditation to calm your nervous system and reduce the perception of pain. Most importantly, talk to your doctor if you're using painkillers regularly. They can help you better understand your muscle condition, health goals, and whether there's a safer, long-term approach. My body has the ability to heal itself, but it needs time, space, and the right support to do so. Sometimes the best thing you can do is listen to your body, instead of silencing it with painkillers. And I haven't even covered all the other concerns. But this is the first step for you and me to start taking care of our bodies more wisely. I want to share with you something very important that I think many of us tend to overlook, especially as we get older. Every small change in our daily habits can help reduce inflammation and support yours and mine, muscle strength. I've realized that sugar doesn't just affect blood sugar levels. It also impacts balance, coordination, and the body's ability to recover after a fall or when getting back up. This realization led me to a very basic habit, one that seems simple but is incredibly important: drinking water. It's something I've noticed many older adults tend to neglect, but in reality, it plays a huge role in maintaining strength, flexibility, and muscle recovery. In the past, I didn't pay much attention to drinking water in the morning. Sometimes I'd have just one glass at lunch or only sip a little throughout the day. But I've come to understand that if you're like me, over 60 years old, this silent habit might be quietly weakening your muscles more than you realize. Did you know that our muscles are made up of nearly 75% water? This isn't just a fun fact. It's a critical biological truth. Water allows our muscles to stretch, contract, recover, and regenerate. Without enough of it, muscles become stiff, sluggish, and far more prone to injury. What concerns me most is that by the time we feel thirsty, our bodies are already dehydrated. And for older adults like me, the sense of thirst isn't as reliable as it used to be. That means even if you don't feel thirsty, your muscles might already be struggling with dehydration. When the body lacks water, blood circulation slows down, meaning fewer nutrients and less oxygen reach the muscles. At the same time, waste products like lactic acid aren't cleared out effectively. I've experienced leg stiffness, soreness after short walks, and even dizziness when standing up too quickly, and I now understand those were signs of dehydration. What's more, I've realized it's not just about how much water I drink, but also what I drink alongside it. Many older adults, including myself, routinely drink coffee, tea, or soft drinks throughout the day. While they might seem harmless, these beverages can actually worsen dehydration. Caffeine and sugary drinks are diuretics, meaning they cause the body to lose more water than it absorbs. This creates a negative cycle. I feel tired, so I drink more coffee. I feel thirsty, so I reach for juice. But deep down, my muscles are still lacking the one thing they need most to stay flexible and strong: water. So what did I do to improve things? I started very simply, with one glass of water right after waking up, before my coffee or breakfast. This small action instantly starts rehydrating my brain and muscles, helping me feel more alert and energized each day. I believe you can try this too, because sometimes the smallest changes lead to the biggest results. Start by drinking a small glass of water before each meal, and always keep a bottle of water nearby to sip throughout the day. If plain water feels too bland, you can add a few slices of lemon, cucumber, or some mint leaves to enhance the flavor. Even foods like watermelon, cucumber, or oranges, when eaten regularly, also help to hydrate the body. This doesn't mean you have to drink excessive amounts of water, but aiming for 6 to 8 glasses a day, especially if you are active, taking medication, or living in a hot climate, can make a noticeable difference in muscle recovery and maintaining mobility. Staying well hydrated not only helps prevent cramps, but also protects your balance, supports independence, and helps you move safely around the house without fear of falling. Let's talk about the next mistake. It will silently accelerate muscle loss. In the mornings, I used to be easily tempted by sweet treats. A bowl of cereal, flavored yogurt, a muffin, or a cold glass of orange juice. They made me feel comfortable, convenient, and quick to start a new day. But then I realized that as I got older, those seemingly harmless choices were quietly damaging my muscle health in ways I had never imagined. I knew sugar wasn't good for blood sugar or waistline, but what I hadn't paid attention to before was, it directly affects muscle strength. When I eat refined sugar, my blood sugar spikes. My body has to release a lot of insulin to lower the blood sugar level. Repeated like this, I started developing chronic inflammation in my body. And this not only made me tired, but also made muscle recovery and growth more difficult. I read a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition that found eating too much sugar reduces muscle protein synthesis, the process that helps my muscles regenerate after exercise or physical activity. So, even if I try to walk or stretch every morning, if my breakfast is full of sugar, my muscles hardly get a chance to recover. Moreover, refined sugar increases oxidative stress. The body starts producing too many free radicals, unstable molecules that can attack healthy cells. When muscles face this kind of stress over a long time, they weaken, tire quickly, and become sluggish in every movement. What surprised me most was the hidden sugar in many things I used to think were healthy. Fruit yogurt, instant oatmeal, energy bars, salad dressings, even granola and cereals. Many times, I thought I was taking good care of myself, but actually, I was adding a wave of inflammation to my muscles, right from early morning. And for someone older like me, this accumulates very quickly. Every high sugar breakfast feels like telling my muscles, you're on your own. No support, no recovery. Only slow weakening, day by day. But then I also realized, Change isn't as hard as I thought. It just starts with awareness. I learned to read ingredient labels carefully. Any words that sound a bit scientific, like glucose, fructose, corn syrup, cane juice, maltodextrin, are warning signs. When I crave something sweet, I try strawberries, a few fresh pear slices instead of reaching for sugar. I add a bit of cinnamon or vanilla for flavor. I switched to plain Greek yogurt and chose whole grain bread. These are small changes, but I can feel the clear difference. My body feels lighter, my muscles respond faster, and I know I'm giving myself a chance to recover, starting with my breakfast every day. There is one thing that I used to be subjective about: the culprits that silently destroy health, especially the muscles of older people like me. At first, I simply thought that I should eat whatever was convenient and delicious. But the more I learned, the more I realized that there were foods that were silently causing more trouble than I thought. First on the list is sugary soft drinks, something I used to drink to cool off in the summer or get a little energy boost in the afternoon. Whether regular or diet versions, they all contain chemicals that increase inflammation, spike blood sugar, and dehydrate muscles. The problem is, they provide no nutritional value at all. With every sip, my body seemed to weaken a little, rather than get stronger as I had believed. Then there are processed meats, sausages, cold cuts, ham. Honestly, I used to eat these quite often for convenience, just sandwich them in bread and the meal was done. But they contain nitrates and extremely high salt levels, substances that increase oxidative stress and hinder nutrient absorption. The result? Muscles struggle to recover after activity, and my body constantly feels sluggish. Next are refined starches like white bread, regular pasta, or white rice, things I once considered basic. But it turns out they have had nearly all their fiber and nutrients removed. They fill me up quickly, but cause blood sugar to spike and crash fast, leaving me tired and drained shortly after. My muscles don't get enough nourishment, leading to fatigue and poor recovery. I also used to love fried foods, crispy fries, fragrant fried chicken, but these contain lots of trans fats and almost no vitamins. They disrupt hormone balance and make muscle recovery more difficult than ever. Moreover, they reduce blood circulation, causing muscles to lack oxygen, especially after exercise. On top of that, I often kept snacks at home like crunchy cookies, packaged chips, and processed pastries. They were like a small treat after meals, or when I felt peckish. But in reality, the artificial additives, high salt, and unhealthy fats in them were making my muscles heavy and my joints gradually stiffer over time. I used to combine all these with energy drinks, sugary yogurt, and coffee creamers, without realizing I was creating an undercurrent, slowly wrecking my health, little by little. But once I knew, I couldn't ignore it anymore. In the next part, I will share with you an important factor in the diet of older adults, something often misunderstood: protein. This is the key element that helps muscles get nourished and recover, yet not everyone is supplementing it properly. I used to think protein was only for young people, gym goers, or athletes. Every time I heard the word protein, images popped into my head of smoothies at the gym, grilled chicken breasts, or egg whites, things that seemed totally unrelated to me. But then I realized that I'm actually the one who needs protein more than ever. After turning 60, my body was no longer the same. I began to feel a silent weakening. Getting up from a chair took longer. Climbing stairs was more tiring, and even walking felt heavy. That's when I learned that as we age, our muscles no longer maintain themselves as before. The body naturally breaks down muscle, not because I did anything wrong, but simply because it is part of the aging process. The problem is, the ability to rebuild muscle also declines over time. If I don't get enough nutrients, especially protein, every day I lose a bit more strength, without even realizing it. I read in a study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition that older adults should consume at least 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily. I weigh about 65 kg, so I need roughly 8,100 grams of protein each day. But like many people, I used to eat only about half that amount. Before, my meals were very simple: toasted bread for breakfast, a bowl of soup for lunch, rice with vegetables for dinner. Sounds balanced, but there was little to nourish my muscles. No eggs, no fish, no beans, no yogurt. I ate to feel full, not thinking about my muscles being hungry. That habit made it harder for my body to recover after small activities. Even just standing up or climbing a few steps would tire me out. I thought it was normal to be old and weak. But in reality, it was mostly because my body lacked the building blocks to rebuild muscle, and protein is exactly that essential building block. The good news is, I didn't have to change too much. Now, I start my day with scrambled eggs or some Greek yogurt. Sometimes I add peanut butter on whole wheat bread, or a handful of beans at lunch. In the evening, I try to include fish, chicken, or tofu. Some days I drink a smoothie with oats, milk, and a scoop of protein powder. It's easy and effective. I don't eat more, just smarter. And what I clearly see is, muscles aren't built in the gym, but nourished in the kitchen. Without enough protein, no matter how much I walk or stretch, my body can't recover or get stronger as I wish. Since focusing more on protein, I feel more energetic, balanced better, recover faster after minor falls or muscle aches, and have steadier energy throughout the day. I understand now that protein is not just a muscle builder, but the foundation that helps me maintain health, stability, and control in daily life. Without protein, everything inside me slows down. Even me. I used to start my mornings with just a cup of coffee or a piece of toast. Some days when I was in a rush, I'd grab a quick box of cereal because it was fast and convenient, and I thought it gave me enough energy. But then I realized those kinds of breakfast didn't help my body at all, especially my muscles. It turns out that when breakfast lacks protein, my muscles don't get the signal to start rebuilding after a long night. In fact, my body might keep breaking down muscle without me even knowing. Those convenient breakfasts usually contain too many refined carbohydrates and almost no protein. They cause my blood sugar to spike and then crash quickly, leaving me feeling sluggish and tired even though the day has just begun. While I thought I was having a proper breakfast, my muscles were actually being starved, lacking the nutrients needed to maintain strength, flexibility, and responsiveness. I didn't realize this before. I felt full, but in reality, my body was missing the nutritional building blocks to keep building and protecting important muscle fibers. I started changing when I understood that to fight age-related muscle loss, I needed to have the right breakfast. A truly nutritious breakfast doesn't have to be complicated. Just a source of protein like eggs, yogurt, or nut butter, a little healthy fat, and complex carbs like oats or whole grain bread. Even drinking a glass of water right after waking up helps my muscles absorb nutrients better and improve circulation in my body. I don't have to eat a lot. Sometimes just half a boiled egg, a spoonful of peanut butter, or a small handful of nuts is enough for my body to start the recovery process. The important thing is that I no longer eat breakfast just to stop being hungry. Now I'm sending a message to my body. These muscles still matter. Keep them strong. Because what you eat in the first hour of the day determines how your muscles function, recover, and age. These are the things that quietly destroy your strength. I never thought that small daily habits, like what I eat for breakfast, how long I sit, or what I drink, could affect my physical strength. But then I realized that those seemingly harmless habits were silently eroding my health and endurance bit by bit. And the most important thing I learned is, I don't have to be perfect. I just need to start paying attention. A small change is enough to make a difference. Some days I simply drink an extra glass of water right after waking up. Other days I add an egg to my breakfast or stand up to stretch while watching TV. These actions may be small, but I can clearly feel my body responding positively. And I want to say that these aren't just habits. They're how I send a message to my body that I'm still here, I'm still strong, and I'm actively taking control of my future. Strength after 60, for me, doesn't come from some grand decision. It's built through quiet daily choices. When I choose to move instead of sitting still, choose nutritious meals instead of eating just to be done quickly, and choose action instead of letting fear control me. And the truth is, our bodies are still listening. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button. It helps us keep creating valuable content for you. Feel free to leave a comment below to share your thoughts, questions, or topics you'd like us to cover in the next video. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our latest health tips and useful information. Stay healthy, and see you in the next video.